Just going to run through the unallocated jobs page and how you dispatch jobs to drivers or affiliates. So in our booking demo, we added this booking here for John. It was on the Bank of Ireland account, and you can see this very small slither of red here. These, if you watch the admin accounts video, you'll see that you can highlight particular customer accounts to make them stand out. You could do the same for vehicle types, maybe not for the fleet you have the most of, but a minibus or something slightly larger. Okay, so we have our booking in the system. You'd have a whole list of bookings down here looking into the future. In the account column, if it came from a demand partner, so if we're pushing rides down through the system from our demand partners, then the name of the demand partner be here, and there's a long list of those I won't go into now, and they grow constantly. So we're limited on the space that we can show here, so you have a plus sign on the left which gives you a bit more information, okay, about flight numbers, so kind of a quick view, vehicle type, date and time, passenger pickup and destination, so you can have a look at those on a map as well just by clicking the link. Okay. It's been amended, so we did an amendment on the during the demo for the booking, so it tells you the ride's been amended and that it contains a via address. So it's not just these two addresses here, there is a via as well. So our first button here is notes, and we can see that there were no general instructions that would have gone to the customer. At the time of booking, we wrote do not send driver 234. This is a private note that was stored in the system. Nobody else can see it but the internal staff. If you were sharing the ride with an affiliate, you could put some notes in here. You can add here, by the way, just by typing in these boxes and clicking save. So driver notes, it says John needs assistance to the vehicle, and that will go to the driver, okay, and appear on the app, okay. As I say, you can type in here, and when you click save, they get added, and you can remove these just by clicking the remove button. I can edit the booking from here, so I can click on the edit button and it will load it onto the booking page in the edit mode, and I can change any details I need to change. So if somebody's calling in and you're looking, you do a quick search, it's lightning fast, the search here. So if you had hundreds of bookings here and you just type in 1 or 2 characters, it starts to filter out, but almost immediately. So very easy to find. When you've got the one you want to edit, click on edit and it'll load it on the booking page ready for details to be changed. If you can't find it here, you can click the advanced search button. So you've got the PTR references, which is this one on the left-hand side of the page in the first column. You can type if the passenger is reading it out to you. You can search by from or where it's going to, passenger name, and address. You can search which drivers are doing the job, or has done the job, by the way, because it looks at all of the statuses of the rides completed and everything else. You can search by vehicle type. You can search by account customer, or any references that were added to the booking, and you'll see that in the new reservation video where you add references and it searches those and can pull them up. So we've given you a full range of items that you can search, and when you click the search button, it goes off and delivers the results on a new page for you. So let's just go back to this plus sign here. If you want to cancel the ride, you can click on cancel. Do you want to email the customer with the cancellation notice? You put a reason for the cancellation in, click on confirm, and that will disappear. Okay, very simple. If it depends when it's being cancelled. So if there's a cancellation policy been entered for the Bank of Ireland in admin, it will look at that. So when you hit the cancel button, it says, is this within the policy? And there's a fee to be charged. Yes, it is. So it will put it in as a cancelled on arrival status, ready for invoicing or whatever the cancellation policy dictates. So I've got assign driver by email button here. So if you haven't added a driver to the system, you can put in their email address and the option to let them view future jobs in the future on the app. So you put in their email address, you click on send. This ride, this booking here, gets assigned to that driver just created. The driver would receive the email with a username and password and a download link for the app either on the Play Store or the Apple Store. And they have a very simple onboarding process where they add their name, their telephone number, enter the vehicle registration number, and then we populate that from the APIs that we're integrated with and take a selfie, and that's the process. And that ride will then be visible on the app to them. So you don't worry about not having a driver in the system already, because you can very easily invite them and assign this ride at the same time. So let's have a look at the assign button here. So we have all of the details of the ride separated into boxes. We have the extras that were booked with it, any references that were applied. The customer has requested quiet mode. That was in the earlier video. Allocate and complete is if you wanted to remove this job from the screen, it's going to be billed to the customer, but it hasn't been assigned to a driver. You would slide the button across. Okay. It's an alert just to make sure that you know that once this is done, it's irreversible. You would select your in-house driver. So this is not a real driver because you wouldn't be paying any driver fees, but you want to invoice the customer for some reason. So you'd select the driver, slide the button and click allocate, and that would remove the job completely ready for invoicing. So it would sit in completed rides. Okay. So that's that explanation on that button there. So down the bottom here we have all of our notes, and then we have two options. We can send it to one of our drivers. We've only got one in the system. Okay. Or we can send it to one of our affiliates. This is covered in a different video. So here would be your affiliates that are assigned to carry out work on behalf of this customer account, and you'll be able to select them, and then this button would change to assign to affiliate. Okay. But if you're allocating to your drivers, then it would be this list here. So no highlight at all means the driver's not logged on, so it would be green highlight if the driver was logged on to the app. And if for some reason the driver's in the wrong vehicle type, so the vehicle types don't match, that would be highlighted red. So you can manually override all the issues on the platform, but there's a highlight there to say there's an issue with the vehicle that's been requested and the vehicle that John Barnes is driving. All right. So from here you can download a text file of this ride data if you want to pull it into another system. You can export the ride to Excel. If this was assigned to a driver, you could unassign it from here as well, so you can reverse the decision. The Send Now button. So this job is for today. The time now is 17:27. I could click the Send Now button and that will change. So the lead time has been updated. If we go back to Assign Now, you can see that it's 17:28. That's the time I'm looking at on my screen, bottom right hand side. So if you're running auto dispatch, smart dispatch, you can bring jobs forward. If you know you've got a driver emptying out by an airport somewhere, instead of him driving halfway back and this being assigned, you can just click on the, so that would then, smart dispatch would start considering this ride to be dispatched, and it would automatically go to the driver that you had in mind. So that's what the Send Now button does. Find nearest, it's not going to work now, but if you're not too sure about who the nearest driver is, this job might be running late, for example, you can click on the Find Nearest button. It will then go through all the available drivers that are on the app, and you can see that's gone red now. It's gone red in the background because this time has been reached, so it should have been sent out because we clicked the Send Now button. So the Find Nearest looks at all your drivers, calculates using real-time traffic the first one to arrive, and it'll be in that order. So the first one in the list is the closest to the job. It doesn't just look at available vehicles, it looks at jobs that are soon to clear and where they're dropping, and it makes that whole calculation for you. So it just takes that nightmare out of trying to find a car if you're not too sure of traffic situations or the general vicinity. Okay, so when you're ready, select the driver and click on allocate. So you can see that's assigned to driver 101. Okay, smart dispatch is not on. It's not on. So it would start to search and it would say searching if there was no driver assigned. So when driver 101's app polls the system next, it will pull this right to his device and then he just accepts it and it disappears. It moves across to jobs in progress. So a really simple way of controlling how your rides are dispatched. We've made it as easy as we can for you. The only other point here is that it highlights because it's already gone past the time, the dispatch time, but as it approaches the red level, it goes yellow first, so it's like a warning, like a traffic light warning, just to say this job should have been dispatched by now. And then when it starts to get a little bit more urgent, it turns to red. Hope that helps. Thank you.